Welcome back. Well, it's time for one of our favorite segments, an opportunity
Your
to give out a
favorite segment.
little bit of bulletin board material, if you will. It's time for our power polls.
Really, it's time for you to chip at Trey. So Trey, tell us who you got.
Thank you, guys. You guys never seem to impress me with these tosses. Every week, I'm going to get beat up. Somehow, I still get these rankings right. Let's start in Delaware. Coming in at number 1, how about the Smyrna Eagles? We talked about them. I don't care if they don't use these guys. They have 2 7-footers. I'm going to say that until they lose a game, all right? 2 7-footers in high school, all right? Number 2 coming in is Woodbridge. We talk about Woodbridge and Smyrna, 2 teams that didn't lose all football season, still undefeated during basketball season. I don't know what's up with that other than the plethora of athletes at both schools. Number 3, got to go with the Cape Henlopen Vikings, a big win over their rivals in Sussex Tech, but a defeating loss to a Milford team that still has me scratching my head. 4, I'm going to give to Laurel because they played nobody, but somehow they still end up at 4 because they're 4-0. 5, I'm going to give to Milford with an impressive win over said Cape Henlopen. And over in Maryland, got to go with Decatur number 1, right? Of course we're going with Decatur at number 1. They are blowing people off the map every single game. And coming in at a distant 2, I feel like the 2 should kind of be up here somewhere. It's going to be Washington High School after they beat up on my Y-High Indians today. Pocomoke, state champs, are staying at number 3. Snow Hill, with those guards, are staying at 4. And number 5, you're welcome, Dave Byer. Parkside finally making the rankings at number 5, guys.
I feel like my vision must be off. I didn't see Y-High on the little prompter right there on any of your stuff. I don't know what happened.
He's just getting humble or
not there, and
founded
I don't know
in
where
reality.
they were during football season. It's been a bad decade, I
You know,
guess,
I
somewhere
haven't
around
seen
there.
any Y-High gear around
know.
the station either.
The good news is, as soon as we're done with this segment, he'll tell us about the glory days, long before anyone remembers of when they were actually good at stuff.
Right.
But we'll go ahead and get to the list that I got over here in Delaware starts. It's Smyrna. Feels like it's Smyrna, everyone else. Woodbridge is still that next best team, in my opinion. And I'm going to keep Milford right there for now and ahead of just Cape and Laurel, who are both in their own right pretty good. I don't know yet about Laurel. I got to see them play somebody else.
All right, so you and Trey kind of agree.
Yeah, we're pretty
more
close
or
right
less.
there.
All right, so who do you have in the Bayside?
I'm going to go over to Maryland. I'm going to start, obviously, with Decatur, and then I'm going to change things up a little bit. He has Washington. I'm not as – they're probably the least impressive undefeated team so far that I've seen. I have Snow Hill at 2 with Washington, then at 3. Pocomoke still 4. And I'm still banking on Kent County a little bit. They got to do something. They're losing players, and they lost a tough opening game at YI. But they're just too good in the North, and they're going to pile up some wins since they're in the North.
All right, I'm calling it now. This is my first season covering hoops here on the shore. I think Washington's a pretty solid squad. I'm excited to follow them this season.
We'll see. We'll see what Dan. I'm going to hear from Danny
We're
either
gonna
way.
see
So
them
we'll see, Coach Lane.
bump up in the power polls, I think.
All right. Well, it's time for another quick commercial break. But coming up next, the girls' basketball season is heating up as well. We'll have highlights from across the shore on the way.
I'm Elijah Shields, Laurel Bulldogs basketball, and you're watching the Down Sports Insider.